Welcome to my channel. We have chosen one of the most difficult topics to talk about. The importance of testosterone in male sexual health is huge, both in terms of reproductive health and sexual functioning. In this video, we're going to focus on young men, in particular, recognizing a drop in testosterone and panicked social media posts about, "What should I do?" Let's take a look at why testosterone drops in men from a medical point of view. This is a topic I often talk about. Men don't pay enough attention to their sexual and reproductive health. Then, when problems arise, they panic and don't know what to do. Some men, on the other hand, are reluctant to seek solutions or make it an issue of ego and pride. Since the 2000s, male reproductive health has been gradually declining, and one of the main reasons for this is low testosterone. Men's testosterone levels are dropping. So why is it decreasing then? What makes today's men different from the men of the past? Where are the mistakes being made that cause testosterone levels to drop? Let's try to briefly go over these points now. Maybe in future videos, we'll have the chance to explain these reasons in more detail and offer solutions as well. For now, let's just make a start. The most important reason for declining testosterone levels in men is obesity. Why does obesity cause a decrease? Because fat tissue increases. We don't want fat tissue in the male body. The male body needs to be muscular, with a greater proportion of muscle mass. Fat tissue accumulates around the chest, hips, and abdomen. In women, these areas help to keep them warm, protect the uterus and ovaries, and provide warmth for the baby. At the same time, estrogen is produced from fat tissue, which enhances a woman's feminine functions. Of course, when we talk about fat tissue, we don't mean excessive amounts leading to obesity. A woman with a slightly fuller figure might not be considered unhealthy at all. It's a matter of personal preference. Some women may prefer a very slim, size 0 figure. However, that may not be very healthy either. Conditions like anorexia nervosa, disruption of ovarian function, ovarian cysts, and infertility can all arise from being excessively thin. Yes, extreme thinness naturally brings about such risks. So, how exactly does obesity reduce testosterone? Because fat tissue produces estrogen. When estrogen is produced, it relatively suppresses testosterone. The balance between estrogen and testosterone is disrupted, and it shifts against testosterone. This situation, if it happens in a young boy, causes delayed entry into adolescence. You've probably seen it. Boys around 13 or 14 years old developing breasts and belly fat. And what do we say? Exercise is one of the most important factors that boosts testosterone. So, the most critical factor is physical activity in men. We can especially say that men who work in fields and gardens are much healthier because they receive vitamin D from the sun. Is there anyone healthier than a man who gets natural vitamin D from sunlight? Vitamin D supports reproductive health and the production of testosterone. It is one of the most vital components of our reproductive and sexual health, our immune system, and overall life. As our elders used to say, a house that sunlight doesn't enter, a doctor will. Today, we've become people who get into our cars in the morning, work inside buildings all day, and come home at night to sleep. And because of this, testosterone levels are very low, even in men. In the past, women used to work in the gardens or spend time in open courtyards. Now, women also aren't exposed to the sun anymore. Since people no longer work outdoors, both men and women are stuck inside buildings, deprived of sunlight. And what happens? No sun exposure, decreased vitamin D levels, increased obesity, decreased physical activity, and naturally, testosterone levels fall. Now, let's move on to nutrition. The worst, even worse than everything else, is nutrition. Nowadays, we no longer have free-ranging animals. We no longer have cows or chickens that roam freely. Well, goats and sheep still have to graze to some extent, especially goats. They must go out into nature and feed on a variety of plants. That's why we say, we should consume goat's milk, butter, and as much sheep meat as possible. And what about packaged foods? Yes, from sausages to salamis, from packaged nuts to biscuits, crackers, and beverages. Many packaged products are risk factors. They all carry risks in terms of sugar, glucose, and obesity. Let's talk about beverages. Energy drinks, with the glucose, corn syrups, and even sildenafil added to many of them. On one hand, sexually stimulate men, but on the other hand, may cause the depletion of their testosterone. As for fruit beverages, you can, of course, consume natural fruit. We always say, you should get fructose through natural means. But fruit-flavored drinks, whether it's fruit-flavored milk, sparkling water, or artificially sweetened juices, are unhealthy, especially those made with corn syrup or of unknown production methods. The drinks children take to school, the ones served at weddings, most of them aren't even real fruit concentrate. Now, let's move on to harmful habits: smoking, alcohol, and drug use. Today, I see children as young as 9 or 10 smoking on the streets, and it truly saddens me. In recent years, electronic cigarettes, which are even more dangerous, have become widespread. By adding fruit flavors, they encourage higher consumption, and children begin to see it as something natural. And then there's alcohol. From TV shows to music videos, from parties to almost every social event, alcohol has become almost a must-have. Sometimes it's even perceived as a symbol of status, holding a champagne glass at a party, popping bottles, as if it represents wealth or elitism. But in reality, it ruins health. Men become pot-bellied, suffer from liver damage, and face many other health problems. I could recommend dozens of medical channels where doctors talk about this topic in depth. You can also research scientific articles yourselves. Whether you drink a single drop or 5 glasses, of course there is a threshold for addiction, but ultimately, even small amounts have been scientifically proven to be harmful. There is another factor that disrupts testosterone levels and causes testosterone deficiency, which is often overlooked. This is the depletion due to excessive consumption. In other words, if you consume excessively, testosterone levels decrease. It's commonly believed that the body produces unlimited testosterone, and as you consume more, new testosterone keeps coming in. Yes, new testosterone does come in as you consume, but there isn't unlimited testosterone production. Testosterone has a production process, and that testosterone needs to be used for sexual activity and sperm production. So, how much testosterone can a man produce? If testosterone is continuously used for pleasure, there will be disruptions in sperm production. And what do we observe? We see abnormalities in semen analysis. But this is just now starting to be investigated in medicine. When sperm analysis shows abnormalities, we immediately check testosterone levels to see if there's a deficiency. If there is a deficiency, what is the cause? Is it vitamin deficiencies, increased consumption, or a combination of both? A scrotal ultrasound is performed to check if there is a blockage. Is there a cyst formation or varicocele? Why is there a problem? Hormones are checked immediately. Is estrogen elevated? Is testosterone decreasing? How are thyroid functions? What is the status of prolactin? What is the man's fat tissue ratio? All of these factors are analyzed one by one. I will explain testosterone depletion due to consumption in a separate video as well. Why are you depleting your testosterone so quickly? Have you ever thought about this? I'm definitely waiting for your comments. Write courageously and share your thoughts. Why is testosterone depleted so quickly in young men? Besides production deficiencies, how and why are men increasing their testosterone consumption? What kinds of negative effects does this have on their health? Young men who say, "Oh no, my testosterone levels have dropped." First, they need to understand why their testosterone has decreased. They should research this using scientific and medical sources and accept the findings. The second step is, how can testosterone levels be increased? We will cover this analysis in another video. I hope this video has been helpful for men. As an obstetrician, closely studying andrology and being able to share information with men is one of the most important steps toward being helpful. If you found it beneficial, feel free to share it with other men and your loved ones. Wishing you all healthy, happy, and wonderful days. Goodbye.